Hello and welcome. From today, we're starting our part 5. And in the previous fourth part, we have done many things. We have already created our menu page. You can see we have all our products from backend. Then, if you just click the login, you can just pop up this form. If you haven't an account, you can go to the sign up form. Then you can also go back to the login page. You can just close it, no matter, you can do everything. Okay, let's go to the menu page, and here you can see we have the product. If you want to add it, then you have to log in first. So let's try to log in. You can use your email and password to log in, but if you haven't an account, you can just sign up using this link here. If you click, then the sign up page will be appear. Here you will type your name, then maybe this one, and you have to put a password for here. Then if you sign up, then a sign in is successfully done. If you click OK, then you will go to redirect to the home page, no matter. So now you can see the cart is empty, and if you visit the cart page, it will say cart is empty and please add some product. You can back to the menu page and add some product. Firstly, when you click this one, then this product is added. So let me add this product. But what if you want to add a product multiple times? For example, this is the first product we have already added there. If you want to try to add it, then it will see the product is added 2 times. But we will fix this problem today, and actually from this we will go to the advanced sections of backend, and we will do advanced thing on the backends. So here you can see you can increase the quantity, you can decrease the quantity, and when you increase the quantity, wait a minute, the server is running. So you can see the price is increasing. You can increase this one, and still the pricing is increasing, and here the total price is shown. So everything is there. If you want to delete, then you can hit this delete button, and yes, delete. When you delete, the count is decreased from here, and you can see only 2 product is available. You can try it again. So we will do more advanced feature on this project. So for this, from the beginning, let me show you a thing. Here we have a server, and here we have an index.js file. In this file we have done many things. We have write many codes. Here you can see we have 2 collections for this. Then we will add more collections, and you can see here is the menu code, here is the cards item codes and other codes. If we do everything in this index.js, this page will be larger, and it's not the best practices. So that's why we will just make our backends more professional. So that's why from this tutorial we will just start from the beginning. So I'm closing everything now, close everything, and for this projects you can start from now. We have a repository for these projects. This is the starter repository for the part 5, and from this repository you can just clone this code or use this code. So I will give the link in the description so you can download this repository. So let's do it, and please watch carefully, otherwise you cannot follow me. So from here we will just download this repository. We will choose a folder. For example, this is our new folder. Here we will just download our projects. It takes a few seconds to download, so wait. Download is completed. Now go to the sections. So this is the folder. You can see inside this new folder we have this folder downloaded. So what to do? Actually it's a zip file, zip folder actually. So we have to extract it first. So you can use WinRAR to extract it. If you haven't WinRAR, then you can download it. Okay, so it's extracted. You can see this is extracted, and we will go inside this folder. Then you will see this folder again, and you will go inside again. When you are on the root directory, you can see you are on the root directory. You have to open the terminal. You have to open the terminal. Then you can command code dot to open it on VS Code. Now you can see our project is on the VS Code, and here you can see the project's name, and here we have two folders, food server and food clients. Okay, let's try to run this project. So that's why we will open our terminal from here, or you can just choose terminal from here. Look, new terminal. So by default it will show PowerShell, but I would like to use Git Bash. It's very handy. So I recommend you to use either Git Bash or command prompt. So Git Bash is okay for now. Let me close the first one. So this is Git Bash, and firstly we will go to the client side. So that's why we will type cd foodie client, foodie, and then sorry, it's foodie client. So you can see we're going to the specific folder directory. Here is the cd client, so press enter. So now you're on the foodie clients, and what to do? Firstly you have to initialize npm packages. So that's why npm install. Please pause carefully, otherwise you will miss my points. Okay, press enter and go. Npm packages is reinstalling, and our dependency will be added by commanding this. Okay, fine. So now try to run this npm run dev. Press enter. So here you can find a link and press Ctrl and click here to open it on browsers. So here you can see, let me keep this two thing here, but our project is open but it's doesn't show anything. So let's inspect it and check the console tab. Here this is the console tab, and here you will find an error. You can see uncaught Firebase error. That means Firebase error. So how to fix this error? Actually, look here. If you go to the clients, food clients, and then src, then Firebase, where is the Firebase? This is the Firebase, and this is the firebase.config. Here actually you can see we removed our config. We are using this way, we just use secret key and then remove our Firebase key. So that's why the error, we didn't show the landing page. So how to fix this? To fix these issues, the blank screen issues, you have to go to Firebase. And from here, if you haven't an account, you can create an account. Let's get started. Here you will have others repositories, but for this we will just get started with a new projects. Here you can see we have others project directory, but for now we will create a new project. So hit this create projects and we'll name it foodie clients. Then maybe it's part 5, or you can just do it on your existing project. But if you haven't any projects, then you can create a new projects. Maybe I'm just naming these on. Okay, hit here. You don't need to enable Google Analytics, then create a projects. It takes a few seconds to creating these projects. Okay, it's done. Then click continue. After then you will just land here. So what to do next, you have to click these code icons. So hit this wave, then you have to type a app name, that would be same foodie client part 5. You can just type any name, then register. After then it says you have to install Firebase, but we have already done. Then actually we need this code, we need this config code. We'll just copy this code and go back on VS Code. Here this is firebase.config, and we'll remove all. You can see I just cleared this file and then we'll paste this. And lastly, we will export the app, export default app. So after importing this, we will just export the app. Now, if you back to your website and refresh, then you can see the error has gone from the base. There are some other error, but it's okay for now. You can just see our project is visible. Okay, fine. If the project is visible, then let's back to the menu page, and here you cannot see anything because our server part is not running. So that's why we have to run our server part. So let me close the food part and here open the terminal. Here our client side is running, so that's why we will create another git bash. And here on the second terminal, you can just split this terminal if you want. So here the client side is running and here the backends will be run here, or you can just do it there. So we have to go to the backend part. So that was cd food server. Okay, then we have to initialize it, npm install fast. So let me show it on little big screen. Here you can see we have installed this fast. Okay, done. Then we have to type npm start. Npm start, you can see here we command npm start. So if you do this, then you will get this error, Mongoose server error. That means our MongoDB server is not working. Why not working? Actually, we used here index.js, we use .env variable. So here you can see our server is protected. We are using secret key. So that's why what you have to do, you have to go to the MongoDB, then start free or try free, sign up with Google. If you have already project set up, then you can just go just click this connect button and you can just connect these properly. But I would like to show you from the starting. We will just build this server side again. Why again? Actually, you can see we have do everything on here, so we don't need to do that. We will just organize our server proper structured way. So that's why we will just build this server side completely proper way. So that's why we are just closed it. Let me delete this one. You can delete it from the folder. You can see this is the server and just hit delete and continue. We just delete our entire server. Let me close. Maybe it's not working, so we have to close this, then we can just able to delete. Okay, so you can see our backend server is deleted. Now we will also open it again. So let's open it, open the terminal, code again, then we will run our client side first and see cd foodie clients, foodie clients, then npm run dev. It's a client side, so that's why we're using npm run dev command. So you can see our front end is running. Let me keep it here and we can close this. We don't need that right now, but here one thing, you can just enable authentication system. So enable authentication system, get started, then enable email and password based sign-in methods and also Google methods. Enable it, then you have to choose your email and then save. Okay, so this part is done. You can see our front end is here. So let's create our backend entirely from the new. So that's why we can delete this database. Let me just delete this. So device sync, maybe, wait, we have to delete this. Okay, not there. Maybe where is the cluster? Okay, go to the database, click here, then terminate. We're just deleting this, and then we will create this MongoDB setup again. So let me delete. Our database is terminating, that means shut down. Okay, you can see. Okay, that's done. And now we will delete this food project, so that's why we'll hit this arrow and see all projects. And here we have demo foodie db, so here is the one, and we will delete this one actually. So here we have to type this name, the database name, and then delete. So the database is deleted. Now you can just click this at last logo. So if you click this, then you will just, here we have to create a new project for this. So we'll create a new project. We will do it with the same name, demo foodie server or foodie clients. Let me name it clients, and then click next. We're creating our database entirely from starting, so we have to create a project. Okay, fine, then just click create. We have to choose a plan. We already get started with the free versions. Then here the provider, AWS, Amazon AWS server is very strong, and we would like to use this one. You can choose your region or your country from here. So this is okay for now. We will just type a cluster name, that would be demo foodie clients. So it's our project's name, and we will just create new. Then we have to verify it. Now here you will just find these users passwords. Okay, let's try to set up first, then we will do the other stuff. So we'll take a new git bash, it's for server. So that's why we'll create a new folder, that would be foodie server. We're trying to make it entirely from the new, so that's why we'll go inside this server. So type cd foodie server and press enter. Now we can see you are inside this foodie server. What you have to do, you have to go to the express.js, then this is express.js.com. It's a JavaScript framework based on Node.js. You can see it's a Node.js framework, and we will just click this getting started. From here it says first you have to create a folder. We have done our folder. This is our folder. Then we will inside this folder, cd means change directories. We have already changed it. You can see this is foodie server. Then what you have to do, you have to initialize npm packages. So that's why you have to command this. We'll copy this line and paste it here, and at the end we will add -y. That means you are agree with package.json's file, and it will add a project. If you press enter, you can see inside this food server you can see a package.json file. So in this package.json file, let me close this one. You can see here we will have our project's name. This is foodie server, and this is the entry points. Then this is the script, and here author, you can type your name if you want it. It's not mandatory. Okay, fine. Then what to do, if you back there, it says you have to create a index.js file. So that's why we will create a index.js file on the server. So food server, select here, create a new file, then index.js. Okay, fine. Then the next option is you have to install Express. So that's why here is the terminal. make sure you are on the server. Here you can see foodie server. Make sure you are on the right track, otherwise it will not work. We will install Express. We also need core, so that's why we will install other npm packages. So nodes, then we will need nodemon, then we will need MongoDB, then we will need Mongoose, or you can just do it later. So let's install Express, course, MongoDB, nodemon and MongoDB, and press enter. Okay, the package is installed. You can just take it from here. You can see inside this package.json we install course, Express, MongoDB, and node. So what the next, we have to rewrite this script. So that's why we will delete this script and we will type a new script that would be a start script, and here we will include nodemon index.js. We will include this script actually. So now what to do? From here you have to click this next, and then you will get a code template. Here we'll just simply copy this code template, and inside this index.js we'll just paste it here. So now you can run your server. So that's why we'll write a script. You can see that was npm start script, and if you press enter, you can see your example app port is running, listening port on 3000. So that's why you can just check the console log from this line, from the 10th line. You can just change this port with a optional port. So that's why process dot env dot port slash, we can just define optional port that will be 6001. So it's our exact port. We just do type any numbers here, 4 or 5 digit number, it's no matter. Now you can see our example app is running on port, this port. So our project is created, done. Then what the next we have to connect it these MongoDB server backends to our project. So that's why we will use Mongoose. So let's go to the Mongoose DB, or you can just search this. Then you can see this is the official websites of Mongoose.js, and firstly you have to install these packages. And then let me close this server, press Ctrl C to close it, and then Ctrl V to paste the copied code. Here we are installing Mongoose, so npm install Mongoose, and that is the same. This is optional, you can just keep it or just install Mongoose. So it's installing. Then what to do, you have to require it. So that's why you can just copy this code and let me run the server. So npm starts for running the server. Okay, now you can just copy this first line. We're requiring, that means we're importing Mongoose from the Mongoose. You can see where require means import, and this is Mongoose. We require Mongoose from here. So let me just initialize one thing. We will just import course from require course, and we need some middleware. So that's why we will just define middleware. So that would be app dot use. We need some middleware, so that's why we'll call course middleware, and then we'll just define app dot use. Then we will call Express. Here you can see we are importing Express from Express, and we will convert this Express dot JSON, and we'll call it. Okay, fine. Our middleware connected. Now we can just connect Mongoose, and so connect our MongoDB. Actually, let me comment MongoDB configurations using Mongoose. Okay, fine. So how to connect? Here you can see from the documentation it says you have to define mongoose.connect method and you will pass your URL. So let me do it. Mongoose.connect, then we will pass our URL. From where we will get our URL? If you go back to the backends, here you will just copy this username and let me keep it here. This is our user's name, and let me generate a password. So copy this password and keep the password here. We will need this one. Then we will create a users, then we will just convert it cloud. We would like to use on cloud environment, then finish. We don't need this, just go to there. So to connect this database, we have to click this connect options, then we have to install a driver. Here you must have to define it Node.js. You can use others, but we will using Node.js, and here you can just choose your server. Then it says the second option is we have installed MongoDB. We have already done that. Then you will find this URL. We need this URL, so copy this URL. You can just copy this URL, and inside this connect we will just paste the URL. Here you can see using this URL we can simply connect MongoDB using Mongoose. But what if you don't use Mongoose? You have to copy the whole code. Look, this is a lot of code here. You have to whole code if you don't use Mongoose. Okay, fine. So it's very simple. Now what to do? Actually we have to replace. Let me just replace the password from here. Copy this and replace this from here. So if you do this, then your server connected. But how to understand? Here we'll define a then block and a catch block. So catch block, if errors happen, we'll just console log error. So that's why error, so it's would be a small letter, so we'll error, and we'll just console log error. So that would be error connecting to MongoDB, and then we'll just define the error. So we can just format this code, press Ctrl Shift F to format this code. Now here inside this then block we'll simply just console log MongoDB connected successfully. So now if you check your terminal, then you can see MongoDB connected successfully. That means our MongoDB is connected successfully. But here you have to protect your user's name and password. Here everyone can access your database. You don't want to do that, so that's why we'll use .env variable. So .env npm, you will search .env npm, and then you will go to these websites. So you can just choose any of these, go there. Here you can see .env. So what to do? We have to firstly install it. So that's why copy this and open the terminal again. We are doing we have to stop this server, so Ctrl Shift, or you can just take a new terminal. So let me take a new terminal. Here what we will do, we'll firstly go to the server, so foodie server, then we can just install server code from here. So npm install.env. So we installed environment packages. Then how to use? Firstly, after installing, you have to use it. You have to create a .env file. So let's create a .env file on the root directory. So this is the package.json. So go to the server here, click the package.json, and here create a folder .env folder. And here we will type database db user, and here we'll simply look here, we'll copy this name. Let me close the package.json and keep it here. And after then can actually you don't need to let me check. Here you can define this way, you have to pass it inside a string. So let me just pass it inside a string. Then we will have db password, then we will define it inside the string. Our secret password was this one, you can just use that there. And now we have to remove this, otherwise public can access that database. And then how to use, you have to require it first. So copy this require.env, then config. So you will include it at the top or from here, you can just do it. Then now you can just what to do, this is the name, so that's why we will just use $ curly braces, and we will just call process dot env dot, then from the env we'll just copy db user, and this is the password. We'll remove that and use $ curly braces, and inside this we will just define process dot env dot db password. So let me copy this text, this is db password, and we will just do it there. Okay, so if we do this and let me check again, so this is the second terminal, it's still running. You can see, you can just try it by this way. Let me clear npm start. You can see MongoDB connected successfully. And how you understand it's working or not, you can just close this, and if you refresh, then you can just see nothing, but you can go to the database section. So this is database. Now here you will just find this type of graph if the project is connected. And what to do, you can just go to the browsers collections. You will see nothing right now, but we'll create it very soon. So firstly, how you can do that, so we will just customize these projects very simply. So we will just create a new folder, that would be our API folder, and inside this API folder we will create another folder, that would be model. So let me define models. Here we will just create some model using Mongoose. You must have to define schema and model. So you can see we have creating an schema here, then we are creating a model. So we'll create schema and model. So that's why here if you just check your data, look, there you will have some data. We have menu name, descriptions, prices, then we will have image, this type of data. So we'll create a model for menu items, so that will be menu, and you will define js. So this is menu items. So firstly what you have to do, you have to require mongoose. So let me require mongoose, or you can just simply const mongoose equal require mongoose. Then firstly you require mongoose, then you have to define const, and then curly braces, here you will define mongoose. Then inside this curly braces we will take schema. So now let's create a schema, create schema object for menu items. Okay, fine. So the schema will simply like, will define a variable, that would be menu schema, then we will define equal sign, then we call new, and then schema. So this is actually this schema, you can call it, and then we will just define a parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis we will pass objects. So here you can see this is curly braces, and inside this curly braces, so every menu has a name. You can see every menu has a name, so that's why we'll define name, and that would be simply we'll pass an objects. Inside this objects we'll define type. So the type, so type, it's a name, so that's why it's a string. So the type will be string. Then we'll just define trim, and trim we will define it true. Then we want it required field. So without menu main name, without product name, anyone can submit. So that's why we'll define required, that would be true. Then finally we'll define minimum length of the menu name, so minimum length, and that would be 3 characters. So our first thing is done. So this is menu. Then we need to define a description, so that would be recipe or something, recipe, that will also be a string. Then we will define an image, that would be a string. Then we will need to define so how I understand that, what we will type here, actually if you just check your clients, then public folder, then you will find the JSONs. Here you can see we need a menu, that is a string, sorry, we need a name, that is a string, we need a recipe, that is a string value, then we need a image, so that is also a string value. You can just copy from it, this is a string. Then we need category, that will be also a string, look category, and that will be also a string. After then we will need a prices, so that will be a number. So you don't have to memorize it, you can just see. Here is the product menu models. Here we will have name, we will have recipe, we will have image, category, prices. I just define it inside an object format. So that's the thing. You can just, our schema is created. Now we have to create a model. So how you can do, so create model objects, or just define, let me define model. We will just type menu, then we will type mongoose dot model, then we will pass menu, we'll define a name menu, and here we will just pass this schema, so menu schema. After, finally what you have to do, finally you have to export it. So that's why module, sorry, it's not model, module.exports equal, then we will just export this menu. So our model is created, done successfully. Now we will create another file, so that would be inside this API folder we will create a routes folder, routes. So inside this route folder, so let me, inside this routes folder, click the routes, and here we will just define menu routes .js. Here firstly what you have to do, you have to simply import Express. You can just import it from here. So you need Express, so this is menu routes, we need Express. Then we'll define const router equal express dot router, and we will call the router from here. And then finally we have to export the router, export, so modules dot export, actually module dot exports, then that would be router. So inside this code we will define our codes, we will just define all our codes. So how to define? So let me define a routes. That's for get wall menu items from database. Okay, so we'll define router dot get method, and here we'll just define slash, then we'll define async functions that will be similar like this. If you check your our git repository, if you go to the product server, sorry, food server, and here index.js, how we are getting wall cards. Here you can see we're getting all our menu by this way. Simply getting all menus by this way. We'll have menu and then these async methods. Okay, so that's why we'll do it, but it will be this way. Required, then response, then we will have to define a curly braces. And what to do actually, we'll define a try catch block here, try catch block, and we'll just define a error. So that would be res dot status. When the error found, we'll send a status that would be 500. Then we'll just define a message inside this JSON. So that would be message. So let me define a curly braces, and that would be message, and the message is error dot message. So when we will find any error, we will show these messages. Otherwise, what to do? So we'll define const menu equal, we'll just define await, then we'll call our menu model. So we are importing models. You can see we're importing models. So we'll call our model, then we'll just define a find method. Inside this find method, we'll just define an empty objects. So why empty objects? We actually find every data, so that's why empty objects. Then we'll just define res dot status. So when it's found successfully, then we will send the status code 200. Then we'll have JSON, and we will pass this menu. Our routes is done. So how to use it, let me close these on, we don't need. We have to import this route from here. So this is Mongoose connected. After this Mongoose connected, so here we'll add comments. That would be import routes here. Okay, so first we'll define const menu routes equal, we'll just define require, then we'll define a quotations dot slash, then we'll go to the API, then we'll have routes folder, then we will have menu routes. So after defining it, we have to use, so that's why app dot use, then we'll define from where. Here you can see we just define slash menu, so that's why we'll do this thing here, app dot use, and here we'll define use, and then we'll call these menu routes. So if you do this, let's check if whether we get this. So from here we'll just define localhost 6001, then let me go, this is hello world. From here actually, let's go to the this port. So this is menu, and here we'll define slash menu and press enter. You can see it's nothing. But if you go to the database and go to the collections, then you can find a test database is created, and here menu. If you upload any items, for example, let me insert an items, menu items, we will just copy the menu from here, from the client side. So here public folder, then menus. Okay, fine, let me close it. Let me just copy this and then upload it from here. Let me delete everything and pass it here. So if you just import this menu or insert this menu, the menu is inserted. Now if you refresh, then you can see our menu is visible here, but there is a problem. So why? look, if you refresh, my internet is very slow today, so that's why it's taking a little time. Here you can see the database name is test, but we don't name it test. So how to fix that? So to fix that, you can just delete this. You can just delete this test database. So we will just rename it. How to rename it? Actually, from the index.js, you will have the connecting string. So inside this connecting string, we'll just define our database name. Here you can see slash and then question mark. Here inside this, we'll just define our database name. Our database name would be demo foodie clients. Okay, fine. So here inside this, we just define demo foodie client. Now, what if you just refresh it? So now if you refresh it, you can see we have demo foodie clients. So this is the thing. Here we actually delete the above two. It's for unwantedly created. We can just delete that two on. So maybe that was for the internet issues it was created, but we can just only keep the last one. Okay, now we have a new database. So that name is demo foodie clients. Based on this name, here we have written this name, so that's why this name is created. Then inside this menu, we can just call it again. We can just insert a menu again, or we can just insert on the menu. We'll just copy all. So Control A to copy all, select all, and press Control C to copy. And now we will just insert the everything from here. So let me insert everything. So if you just insert, then within a few seconds every product is there. And then if you just refresh, you can see all the products are there from using this menu. Now you can just insert these to your projects. Maybe if we just check our menu, then you can see all the menu is loaded, because here actually on the foodie clients we will have menu. So where is the src, and then we will go to page, then menu page, then menus. Here you will define this is the URL. So you can just sorry, you can just copy this URL and replace this URL if you have others. So that's why you can just replace this URL. So you can see now from our projects we can see there is the product is shown. You can just check every product is loaded. But next, what to do next, we have to create a collection that's for cards. When someone hit click, then we will just, based on their email, we will just collect the cards. Here you can see that there is the cards operations, and here we will have this type of cards operations, and we will do it based on the same way, this way that we are just doing here. Actually we were just doing on this, but for now let me just close the food, and here we will create another folder. We'll just define controller. So controllers. So we don't write code on this, we'll just keep this code inside this. So here the first controllers will be menu controllers, menu controllers will simplify our backend server based on folder structure. So that will be very handy a lot. So here actually what to do, we'll just copy this code. Actually we'll just copy this code and then paste it here. But before that, let me define a variable. So that would be get wall menu items. Then we'll call this thing. We will just copy everything from inside this async. Will let me cut it and then paste it here actually. So if you do this, you have to import the menu model. So that's why let me import it, menu models. Now we will just export it, export or module dot export, and then we'll just define an objects. Here we'll pass this, copy actually this and pass this, and instead of here we'll just call this actually, we'll just import this and call it. So that would be, we'll define a const menu controller, then we'll require, we'll have to input dot slash, go to controllers, then menu controllers, and now we'll call the menu controllers. So menu controllers dot get all menus. So still if you refresh, then it will be the same thing, no changes. You can see everything is working properly, but instead of writing all codes on the routers folder, we'll write all code here actually. We'll call write all our code here and import it here and use it here. Okay, that would be very simple, simplified versions. Now for the cards, we will just create another model. So here we will create another model, so that would be cards model. So let me just define a new model, that would be cards. You will be clear right now. We'll do the same thing. Firstly, what we did, we have to import Mongoose. Let me close these on these collections here. Firstly we have to, we can just open it. Look here, firstly we have to import Mongoose, and then we have to just destructure schema, then we will define const cart schema, cart schema equal to new schema, then inside this we will just define a parenthesis. Here we will have a, what we will do actually, when we will hit this add button, then we will just define a menu item id, then we'll define it's a string, so a string value, then we will have the same thing. Here we define menu, will have recipe, image, price, so we'll have the same thing here. So we don't need define to category, so we'll remove it. After then we'll actually need another thing, we need quantity, so that's why quantity, then that would be a number. After then we'll need, actually the main thing is we need email to capture the user who are adding this, so that's why we need email, and we define it. Type would be string, then we'll define trim true, then we'll define required true, you can just call it required true. Okay, so that will be validate our thing. So this is done, this is simply done. So now we have to create a model, so that's why we'll define const, that would be cart model. So let me define cards, and then we'll just define mongoose dot model, then we'll define cards. If you type singular here, then you will get it plural on database, so that's why we will define singular verbs here, then we will pass this cards. After creating this model, we will export the model, so export, so module dot export, I am just making mistakes here, so that would be cards. Okay, our model is created, this is the card models. So when the model is created, you have to create say routes and a controllers. So let me create a route, so that would be for cart routes.js. So inside this cart routes, firstly we need to const, will define const express equal require express. Then we need to import cards, so that's why we'll import cards from require /models/cards. Okay, then we need to define router, so that's why const router equal express dot router. We'll call the router method here. So after then we have to module dot export, then here we'll just pass router. So module dot export this router. Okay, fine. Inside this we will have the code. uh we will have the code, but let me create the controller. So that would be cart controllers, and here that would be JS. So let's create the cart controllers. So here we'll just type all our codes. So firstly we'll define how to get cards using email. So first route will be get cards using email, so that's why we'll define const get cards card by email. Okay, that will be a variable, then it will be a async functions. Here we'll just define require, then response, then we will just define parenthesis, and firstly we will define try catch block. Simply when it's not found we will just export res dot status code, and the status code will be 500, then it will convert to JSON, and then that would be message. So if this is not found, then we'll just send this status, otherwise we'll just define const email equal require dot query method. We'll just define query dot email, then we'll just define query equal email dot email clone email. After then we'll just define const result equal, yeah wait, we'll call cards model, this is the cards model. Then we'll just define find, this is mongoose method, find method, and we'll just define this query inside this find method, and then we'll simply define exect this. Okay, so if you want to suggestions, then you can just check here mongoose, and if you just define find method, if you just type find, so wait a minute, maybe here actually you can just check the query sections. Here you can see this is the model.find method, and here you can just include the exe at the end. So you will have find, then you will just pass an objects. Here you can see we are just passing this query actually email clone email, and then okay, let's try to check it. Firstly we have to export it module.export, and then it will pass an object because we're passing many props here. So when you just pass it, you have to receive it from cards. So router dot get method, and here we'll define slash, and then we'll just uh, import, so const card controller that would be require, then we will just define dot slash controller slash card controllers, and we will just define card controller dot get by email. So now we have to import it from here. So here we are just importing. Let me import const card routes equal require, then we will just define dot slash API slash routes slash card routes, then we have to use it. So that's why we'll just define it here cards, and that would be simply, let me check, is it cards? Yeah, this is cards, this is cards, and then instead of menu we'll just copy these cards. So if you do this, then you can just check cards. So if you just here instead of, let me just take a new thing. So localhost 6001 then slash cards, then you can just check this way, you can just check this way, you can just define an email. So for this let me log in our accounts. So maybe we can just log in these accounts. So it's not correct, so let me try to log in using our Gmail accounts. Okay, so here you can see no items on the card, you can see no items on the card. And if you just wait a minute, my internet is slow today, so everything is fine. We'll just get a empty card. Actually it's still loading. Localhost 6001 slash cards, then quotations email, this email. Maybe we did everything, it's there are servers running. So this is card routes, yeah, that's fine. Export it, then use it properly. So everything is fine. So let's wait until it's fetching data, and you can just check it, you can just refresh this database. So maybe after refreshing you can see there is a cards here, this is the cards, this is the cards. So I hope everything is working, so hope it will work no matter. So let's insert a method. So how to retrieve how to post a data on cards. So post cards, this is look how we just post a cards. So that's why let's create that route for now. So from here, from the cards.js, let me close this, we don't need this. Actually from the cards controllers here, actually we'll just define post a card when add to card button clicked. Okay, when someone click the add to cart button, we'll just define const add to cart, it will be async functions. And here inside this async functions, what we'll do, firstly we'll destructures data. So that's why const will destructure data from require.body. So require.body, then we'll destructures, what will destructures, actually firstly let me open the cards model. Here we'll destructure menu item. So let me destructure menu item, then we'll destructure name, then we'll destructure recipe image, sorry, uh let me copy image, then we will have price, then we will have quantity, then we will also destructure email. Okay, the email is app, we don't need that, so we have to pass email here. Okay, so we will just destructure this thing. After then we will just define a try catch block. Try catch block, we will pass this when this is not okay, we'll pass the error. Otherwise here we'll just check if existing product, if they are in an existing product. So that's why existing menu, check existing menu item. Okay, const will define existing cart item, equal will define a wedge, then we will just call the cart model. So this is the cart model, so this is cart models. After then we will just do find one methods. So find one method, and inside this find on method we will simply inside this curly braces we will just define menu items. We filter based on menu items. So this one, if this existing card exists, then we will just return. We don't add same item multiple times, so that's why we will just return res dot status, and the status code will be 400. Then we will just send JSON that will have a message. So message, the message will be product already existed. So exist in the cart. Okay, so otherwise if there existed product, otherwise we do this, otherwise we will just define const cart item equal weight dot cards dot actually create one, and here we will just take a parenthesis, then we will have objects, and inside these objects we will pass all these value. We will just pass all this value here actually. After then we will just define res dot status code will be 200 or 201. That was as a success status, it's no matter. Then we will just define JSON and we will just pass this cart item. So hope this will work. So let me export this one, export this one. Then we will just go to the cart route. Here it's a post method, you can see we're posting data, so this is a post method, this is a post method. So that would be router dot post, and here we will define slash, and then we will just define cart controller dot add to cart. Okay, if you do this now, hope it will work. Let's try again. So go back to the menu page, refresh, all the menu is available. Just click this add to cart, the item is added. If you check your database, refresh it, then inside this cart you can see one item is added right now. But if you want to add this again, then look, again the products already exist, so you cannot add same items multiple times. That's very handy. You can see if you refresh again, it will be shown the same thing. You cannot be able to add the same thing again, but you can just add others item. You can see the item is added. If you try to do others item from here, actually you can also be able, but if you hit again, then it will not be added. Now we have only 3 items there. You can see we have 3 items added. So that's the way we will just organize our projects and use it. Then after, then what we will do, we'll just define a delete method. So delete a cart item. So how to define it? So we'll define const delete cart, and here that will be obviously an async functions. Then we will just do this require and response. Inside this we will actually try to get the ID. So cart ID, and we will just check require dot params dot id, and then we'll just define try catch block. So this is try catch block. The error status will be the same status. So this is the same status. Inside this try block we'll define const. We'll just firstly check if the items exist. So that would be deleted card. If the deleted card, we'll check if the deleted card is exists. So that's why we'll just define cards dot find and id by delete. So find and delete id, find by id and delete. So this method, and inside this method we will pass this id actually. So within one line you can just delete an items, but if you do the previous way, you have to do 4 lines, but without in one line. So you can just delete an item just based on the id. You can just delete an item. Then actually what we will do, we'll check if there is no deleted id. So actually if we don't find product, then what to do, we will just send an return. So return statement, so that would be trace dot status, that would be 401 status. Then we will just send a status, that would be JSON, and here we'll pass a message, and the message would be cart items not found. So if the id is not existed, you cannot just delete that. Otherwise you can just send the same status, raise dot status, then that would be success status 200. Then we will just pass it JSONs, and here we will just define message. So message will be cart item deleted successfully. Okay, so let me just define this here. So delete method. Now go back to the cart routes. Here we'll define router dot delete methods, and here we will just take an id. So that's a slash dot id. Then we will just define cart controller dot delete cart. Okay, so we can check it from the browser, so that's why we will get help from the postman. Let me close all. Then we can just clear all the recent tab. So we can just close all the recent tab. So here we'll just define localhost. So let me copy this actually, then paste it here. We don't need this. Instead of here we need to pass an ID. So let me, why this is not showing, it should be shown. Connection resets. So let me just close this and run again npm start. So it's successfully now. Hope okay, let me just check the cards from here. Maybe the if this is not working, we can just check it from here. So now just send status for the internet issues. Maybe I am facing the issues here. It's still sending. Maybe the email. So can we check the email first? CLG email. Okay, let's try to check the email. Maybe the email is getting. So what if, let me check the query. Oh, sorry for that. I didn't send the status, so that's why it's not showing. I'm sorry for that. Press dot status code. Here the storage code will be 200, and then we'll just define without sending it. We just try to checking. So that's why that are the error. So let me pass results. Hope this will be shown now. Okay. So instead of this email, we can just collected this, and if you refresh now, we can just check. Okay, everything is perfect. I unwantedly just didn't define that. Okay, you are getting all the data. So you want a new data, you want to delete a cart item, so that's why you can just copy all, and then here we don't need to define the emails, so we will define an ID here. Look, will have the 3 items, and let me delete these items. So that's why from here we'll just define the delete method from here, and let me delete this. The cart items you are getting when the delete is successfully, you are getting this. Okay, if you try to hit this again, then you will show the cart items not found. That means already deleted. What if you just try to delete an item with an incorrect ID, then it will say cart item not found. So every time it will work right now. Okay, fine. So if you do this, then add to cart, add to delete is done, and then there is a last two one. The first one is update a cart item. So that would be const update cart async await, sorry, async, and here will require and trace, and inside here we'll just define const. We'll check ID, then we'll also try to get the same thing from here. You can just copy it. We'll just try to get this from the body. We'll just try to get this from the body. After then we'll define try catch block, try catch block. So the catch status will be this same status, and then inside this try we'll just define const updated, sorry, let me just define const updated cart equal, we'll just define await. We will just call our cards model, then we will just define find and find by ID and updates. Here we will pass, firstly we will pass the card ID. Here we'll pass the card ID. So that way this is the ID, and we'll pass the value what we want to update. So here we'll call all these parameters and then pass it here. After then we can just simply define another parameter, so that would be not required, but you can just do it. So new, if new, then it will be true, otherwise you will just run validators, so that would be true. Okay, so this is the updated cart, and we'll check if not updated cart, we'll just not sign. It will be not updated cart. We'll just return a status. So return base dot status, that would be 404, and then we'll just convert it as JSON. So that would be, we'll pass a message here, so that would be the message, and the message would be cart is not found, cart item not found. Okay, otherwise we'll just res.status, the status code will be the same code, and then we'll just simply define JSON and we'll pass the updated cart. Okay, so if you do this, we have to pass it from here. Okay, so let's try to check it from where the error is. Is there any error? Oh, here we just made a mistake. Okay, that was the error. Let's, it's the same thing. We can just define a put method, and here we'll just, instead of delete, we'll just update cart. Okay, let's try it. It is the same. Let me just copy the second one. This is the second one, and here let me change the ID. Instead of delete, it will be put, and here let me copy all of this. All of this will copy and go to the body, here row, then JSON, then we will just pass these objects. Instead of this name, actually we will just try to make it beep. Okay, so if everything okay, then we can just hit send. Then you can see this is the beep, that means it's added successfully. But what if the ID name is not okay? Then you can just hit, then you will get this message, the project ID is not found. So that means the product is not found. So you will try it without incorrect ID, but it will not work properly. Okay, I think this is working properly. So if this is working properly, the last one is you have to define another routes. So that would be const get single recipe. So how to get single recipe? We will define const get single recipe, single cart. Actually it's not recipe, it's cart. Then we will define async required response, and then inside here we will just do check const, the same thing. We'll just firstly check the ID, so we'll just receive the ID. After then we'll just define try catch block. The error block will be the same status, error status. So let me copy the error status, then paste it here. Inside this try, we'll just define const cart item. We'll just define await, then we'll define cards, then we'll define find by ID, then we'll just define this card ID. Okay, let's try to get it. So firstly export it from here, then inside this card routes we'll create another routes. So that would be, instead of update, we'll just define get single card. Okay, let's try to get it. So for example, here we'll just take a thing that would be the same URL, but we don't include this email. We'll just define a id. So here actually let me get the item. So want to get this beep, so that's why we'll copy the id, and here we'll just define this id and send status. So you are getting an error, so that is says you are getting an error. Why you are getting an error? So let me check the console. We are getting an error, so that error is, oh, this is put, it would be the get method, I'm sorry for that. So that's why we are getting the error. So if you do this and try to get it, maybe the same problem. It's because we didn't pass it, so that's why we can just copy it from the top. Here the same thing, and instead of this we will pass this cart item. Okay, hope it will now show it. Let's try it. Okay, this is shown. You can see this is beep. You can just try to get these on. This is chicken salad, so let's try to get this on, then send it. Okay, you can see getting IDs. So our server is now done. So you can see, let's try it everything. Okay, refresh it for now. Then the product is showing. You can see we have added 2 products. So let me try to add another products. Go to the last page, or maybe this page. Let me add this. So that our third item is added. We can just update this price. You can see this is updated and the price is also updated. You can see this is updated. You can just decrease it. You can just remove on items. You can add these on. Okay, you can just delete any of this. Hit this, yes, sure, item deleted. Now we have 2 items, and you can see this is true. Now you can also delete this one. When you delete this one, the cart will be empty. You can see 0, and it says can add, have to add menu. Okay, try this one. Try to add this one, it will be not added. So let me go to add this one. So now true. So everything is working, our backend server is working. But this time, where is the console log? We can maybe console log at the first. So here is the console log. We can just remove this console log. Okay, so we can did it differently, and if you check your index.js, you can see it's very simplified. It's only this few line of code. So we just write 8 or 10 lines of code here, and project MongoDB is connected. We just define routes, we just define controllers, we just define models, routes, and everything is covered. But next what we will do, we will do further improvement, and if need we'll do middlewares and other stuff.